Good morning. Okay, so I know it's been a hot second since the reading corner, but my book is due in 5 days and I think somebody's waiting for it, so I need to hurry up with this process. Okay, so we are on chapter 11, so this is reading corner number 11. Okay, I was watching videos on my phone the next morning when the call came in. Hello? I said. Asa Holmes? This is she? This is Simon Morris. I believe you are acquainted with Davis Pickett? Hold on. I slipped on some shoes, snuck past Mom, who was watching TV in the living room while grading tests, and went outside. I walked down to the edge of our yard and sat down facing the house. Okay, hi, I said. I understand that you've received a gift from Davis. Yeah, I said. I split it with my friend. Is that okay? How you handle your financial affairs is unimportant to me. Miss Holmes, you may find that if a teenager walks into a bank with a vast array of $100 bills, the bank will generally be suspicious. So I've spoken to one of our bankers at 2nd Indianapolis, and they'll accept your deposit. I've set up an appointment for you at 3:15 p.m. on Monday at the branch at 86th Street and College Avenue. I believe your school day ends at 2:55, so you should have adequate time to get there. How do you know? I'm thorough. Can I ask you a question? You just have, he noted dryly. So you're taking care of Pickett's affairs while he is gone? That's correct. And if Pickett shows up somewhere, then the pleasures and sorrows of his life will belong to him again. Until then, some of them fall to me. May I request that you come to your point? I'm sort of worried about Noah. Worried. He just seems really sad, and there's kind of no one there to look after him. I mean, isn't there any other family? None with whom the Picketts have a good relationship. Davis has been declared an emancipated minor by the state and is his brother's legal guardian. I don't mean a legal guardian. I mean someone who actually, looks after him. Like Davis isn't a parent. I mean, they're not just going to be alone forever, are they? What if their dad is dead or something? Miss Holmes, legal death is different from biological death. I trust that Russell is both legally and biologically living, but I know he is legally alive because Indiana law considers an individual alive until either biological evidence of their death emerges or 7 years pass from the last evidence of life. So the legal question, I don't mean legally, I said. I just mean who is going to take care of him? But I can only answer that question legally, and the legal answer is that I administer the financial affairs. The house manager administers the home affairs, and Davis is the guardian. Your concern is admirable, Miss Holmes, but I assure you that everything is cared for legally. 3:15 tomorrow. Your banker's name is Josephine Jackson. Do you have any other questions of pertinence to your situation? I don't think so. Well, you have my number. Be well, Miss Holmes. I felt fine the next day at school until Daisy and I were on our way to the bank. I was driving and Daisy was talking about how her most recent fic had sort of gone viral in the Star Wars fan fiction world, and how she had tons of kudos on it, and how she'd had to stay up all night to finish the paper on the Scarlet Letter, and how she could maybe finally get some sleep now that she was retiring from Chuck E. Cheese's, and I felt fine. I felt like a perfectly normal person who was not cohabitating with a demon that forced me to think thoughts I hated thinking, and I was just feeling like I've been better this week. Maybe the medicine is working, when from nowhere the thought appeared. The medicine has made you complacent, and you forgot to change the Band-Aid this morning. I was pretty sure I had actually changed the Band-Aid right after waking up, just before I brushed my teeth, but the thought was insistent. I don't think you changed it. I think this is last night's Band-Aid. Well, it's not last night's Band-Aid because I definitely changed it at lunch. Did you, though? I think so. You think so? I'm pretty sure, and the wound is open. Which was true. It hadn't yet scabbed over, and you left the same Band-Aid on for, probably 37 hours by now, just letting it fester inside that warm, old Band-Aid. I glanced down at the Band-Aid. It looked new. You didn't. I think I did. Are you sure? No, but that's actually progress if I'm not checking it every 5 minutes. Yeah, progress toward an infection. I'll do it at the bank. It's probably already too late. That's ridiculous. Once the infection is in your bloodstream, stop. That makes no sense. It's not even red or swollen. You know it doesn't have to be. Please just stop. I will change it at the bank. You know I'm right. Did I go to the bathroom before lunch? I asked Daisy quietly. Dunno, she said. You sat down after us, so I guess. But I didn't say anything about it. No, you didn't say, "Greetings, lunch table mates. I have just returned from the bathroom." Felt the tension between the urge to pull over and change the Band-Aid and the certainty of Daisy's thinking I'm crazy. Told myself I was fine. This was a malfunction in my brain. That thoughts were just thoughts. But when I glanced at the Band-Aid again, I saw the pad was stained. I could see the stain, blood, or pus, something. I pulled into the optometrist parking lot, took off the Band-Aid, and looked at the wound. It was red at the edges. The Band-Aid had dried blood on it, like it hadn't been changed in some time. Holmesy, I'm sure you went to the bathroom. You always go to the bathroom. Doesn't matter now. It's infected, I said. No, it's not. You see this red? I pointed at the inflamed skin on either side of the wound. That's infection. That's a big problem. I rarely let anyone see my finger without the Band-Aid, but I wanted Daisy to understand. This was not like the other times. This was irrational worry. Sorry, that was my texting. Because dry blood was unusual, even for when the callus was cracked open. It meant the Band-Aid had been on for way too long. This was not normal. Then again, didn't it always feel different? No, this felt different from the other difference. This was visible evidence of infection. It looks like your finger has looked every single time you've ever worried about it. I squeezed some hand sanitizer onto the cut, felt a deep stinging burn, unwrapped a new Band-Aid, and wrapped it around my finger. I sat there for a while, embarrassed, wishing I were alone, but also terrified. Couldn't get the redness and the swelling out of my mind. My skin responding to the invasion of parasitic bacteria. Hated myself. Hated this. Hey, Daisy said. She put a hand on my knee. Don't let Asa be cruel to Holmesy, okay? This was different. The sting of the hand sanitizer was gone now, which meant the bacteria were back to breeding, spreading through my finger into the bloodstream. Why did I ever crack open the callus anyway? Why couldn't I just leave it alone? Why did I have to give myself a constant gaping open wound, of all places, my finger? The hands were the dirtiest part of the body. Why couldn't I pinch my earlobe or my belly or my ankle? I'd probably killed myself with sepsis because of some stupid childhood ritual that didn't even prove that I wanted it to prove. Because what I wanted to know was unknowable. Because there was no way to be sure about anything. It'll feel better if you reapply the hand sanitizer just a couple more times. It was 3:12. We had to get to the bank. I took off the Band-Aid and applied hand sanitizer, reapplied a Band-Aid. It was 3:13. Daisy said, Do you want me to drive? I shook my head, started Harold up, put him in reverse, then back in park. Took off the Band-Aid, applied more hand sanitizer. It stung less this time. Maybe that means they're mostly dead. Or maybe it means they're in too deep already, that they've gotten through the skin into the blood. Just look at it one more time. Does it look like its swelling is getting better? It's only been 8 minutes. Too soon to tell. Stop. It was 3:15. Holmesy, she said. We need to go. I can drive. I shook my head again, put the car into reverse, and this time succeeded in getting moving. I wish I understood it, she told me as I drove. Like, does it help to be reassuring, or is it better to worry with you? Is there anything that makes it better? It's infected, I whispered, and I did it to myself. Like I always do, opening the callus up, and now it's infected. I was that fish, infected with a parasite, swimming close to the surface, trying to get myself eaten. When we finally got to the bank, I stood in the back while Daisy introduced herself to the teller, and then we were escorted to a glassed-off private office in the back, where a thin woman in a black suit placed our cash into a machine, then shuffled through the bills, counting them. We filled out a bunch of forms, and then had brand new bank accounts, complete with debit cards, that would arrive in 7 to 10 days. The woman gave us 5 temporary checks to use until our real ones arrived, encouraged us not to make any major purchases for at least 6 months, while you learn to live with the windfall. And then started talking about the places we could put the money, college savings accounts or mutual funds or bonds or stocks, and I was trying to pay attention to her, but the problem was I wasn't really in the bank. I was inside my head, the torrent of thoughts screaming that I had sealed my fate by not changing the Band-Aid for over a day, that it was too late. And now I could feel the heat and soreness in my fingertip, and you know it's real once you can physically feel it, because the senses can't lie. Or can they? I thought, it's happening. The it, too terrifying and vast to name with anything but a pronoun. Driving to Daisy's apartment complex, I kept forgetting why I was stopped at a stoplight, and then I'd let off Harold's brake only to look up and notice, oh right, the light is red. You hear a lot about the benefits of insanity or whatever. Like Dr. Karen Singh had once told me that Edgar Allan Poe, quote, "The question is not yet settled. Whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence." I guess she was trying to make me feel better, but I find mental disorders to be vastly overrated. Madness, is my admittedly limited experience, is accompanied by no superpowers. Being mentally unwell doesn't make you loftily intelligent any more than having the flu does. So I know I should have been a brilliant detective or whatever, but in actuality, I was one of the least observant people I've ever met. I was aware of absolutely nothing outside myself on the drive to Daisy's apartment building and then to my house. I went to the bathroom when I got home and examined the cut. The swelling seemed down. Maybe the light in the bathroom just wasn't strong enough for me to see clearly. I cleaned it with soap and water, patted it dry, applied hand sanitizer, and then rebandaged my finger. I also took my regular medication, and then a few minutes later, an oblong white pill I'd been told to use when panicky. I let the pill melt in my mouth into the vague sweetness and waited for it to kick in. I felt certain something was going to kill me, and of course I was right. Something is going to kill you someday, and you can't know if this is the day. After a while, my head got heavy, and I sat down on the couch in front of the TV. I didn't really have the energy to turn it on, so I just stared at the blank screen. The oblong pill made me feel exceptionally groggy, but only from the bridge from my nose up. My body felt like its standard self, broken and insufficient in the usual ways. But my brain felt sloppy and exhausted, like the noodle legs of a runner post-marathon. Mom came home and plopped down next to me. "Long day," she said. "I don't mind students, Asa. It's the parents that make my job hard." "Sorry," I said. "How was your day?" "Okay," I said. "I don't have a fever." "Do I?" She pressed the back of her hand to my forehead. "I don't think so. Do you feel sick?" "Just tired, I think." Mom turned on the TV and I told her I was going to lie down and do some homework. I read my history textbook for a while, but my consciousness felt like a camera with a dirty lens, so I decided to text Davis. "Hi." That was me. Well, me. "Hi." Him. "Hi." Me. "How are you?" Him. "Pretty good. You?" Me. "Pretty good." Him. "Let's continue this awkward silence in person." Me. "When?" Him. "There is a meteor shower Thursday night. Should be a good one if it's not cloudy." Me. "Sounds great. See you then." "I have to go. My mom is here." She had, in fact, peeked her head in through the door. "What's up?" I asked. "Want to make dinner together?" "I need to read." She came in, sat down on the edge of my bed and said, You feeling scared?" "Kinda." "Of what?" "It's not like that. The sentence doesn't have, like, an object. I'm just scared." "I don't know what to say, Asa. I see the pain on your face, and I want to take it from you." I hated hurting her. I hated making her feel helpless. I hated it. She was running her fingers through my hair. "You're all right," she said. "You're all right. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." I felt myself stiffen a little as she kept playing with my hair. "Maybe you just need a good night's sleep," she said. At last, the same lie I'd fed to Noah. All right, that was chapter 11. Ooh. Okay, bye.